I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, I'm back again. We're going to share a floral card that's going to say hello for the greeting, and it's just going to be an everyday card. We're using a die set from Spellbinders. This is from their Spellbinders More Fresh Picked collection. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Fresh Picked collection, what the dies do is create a floral pattern on an A2 piece of cardstock. I happen to have the Fresh Picked Daisies today, but there's lots and lots more of the Fresh Picked. What I mean is, in case you guys are new, the dies are formulated, I guess you could say, to, we have some rowdy kitties in the background, so I apologize if they're making noise, but they want to go outside and I don't want them to get fleas. We haven't had their shots yet, so they're a little rowdy. But anyway, this die set, all of the Fresh Picked and More Fresh Picked will fit on an A2 panel. You can see it they spread out and they create a beautiful floral pattern on any A2 panel. You could actually frame it on a larger 5x7, like put this on here and then put this on a larger card base and kind of frame it in. So this would work for a larger card base too. But I love that this does this. So we're not going to do that today though, because you know I like to switch things up and give you guys options. So what we're going to do is just take one of the flourishes and we're going to twist it a little bit and turn it a little bit and create a card with it. I thought we would do a little die cutting with some nice summery colors. Okay, and I'm only going to use one of the leaf flourishes, which is beautiful, by the way. There is a flower bud on here too, which is super lovely. So I'm going to die cut this out with my Peridot cardstock. For my flowers, I'm going to they're daisies, so I'm going to keep them daisies. So I'm going to only die cut out these flowers here. There's two of them, and then there is the bud that will go with this one. This one actually goes with this one if you follow the guide that Spellbinders gives you. But I'm going to die cut this out with white cardstock, and then we have the flower centers. We'll take these, and rather than, I thought we'd bring in a little bit of blue. So I'm going to take the dotted flower centers, die cut that out with, this is Peridot, this is Waterfall. And then the background, I'm going to die cut out with some black cardstock, which I didn't have that prepared, sorry. But I'll die cut that out with some black cardstock. Okay, and then, since we are and that's all of our Fresh Picked Daisies, okay? But for my background, we are going to bring in the Spellbinders Mirrored Arch Labels die set. And I thought we would create a frame. You know, I love my frames. I'm going to create a frame with some of my pink sand. And then I'm also going to die cut out a greeting. I'm going to be using the Handwritten sentiments. These are from Simon Hurley. They're like the really nice size. And I thought we'd just go simple and go for the hello. There's a shadow. I'll die cut out the hello with white cardstock probably a couple of times, and then I will die cut out the shadow or the outline with VELLUM. And I do have a piece of Spellbinders pop-up foam. I want to add a little extra dimension to my flowers. So I'm going to die cut out the flower portion with white cardstock and then the pop-up foam too. So I am going to run everything through my die cut machine. I will be right back. Once everything's die cut out, I'm going to layer the foam behind my daisy flower here. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. Okay, so we have foam behind our flowers. And then we're going to add a little glue, and we are going to add the polka dot flower center to the background. For these flowers, okay, these are intended to be almost like cone flowers, so they would actually go this way, and then you would add the daisy here. Maybe opposite. So this is how you would originally do the daisies, but I'm going to do something a little bit different because we can. And I'm going to flip them around this way, and I'm going to add the flower centers to the daisies on the bottom at the very base. I just wanted something a little bit different, and I think this is going to go pretty with my card today. Okay, so we're going to put these to the side, and then for my leaf flourish, I'm bringing in some Copic markers. Now, if you wanted to ink blend a little bit of color on the edges, you could, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my G14, and I'm just going to add some little highlights on a few of the leaves, not all of them. Just kind of doing a few little wispy motions. I think this is just going to add a little bit of specialness to my card. So just a few little wispies does so much. You would be surprised. And they're not perfect. You can see here, I even did it on the flower bud. I'm going to go ahead and attach the bud so I don't lose it. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the top portion, and then we can add the flower there. And then that one's then good to go. Okay, we're going to work on our background next. Today's card's pretty basic. For my background, I'm going to bring in a background stamp from Simon Says Stamp. This is the Regal Hearts background. I'm just going to flip it over. I'm not even going to bring in my stamping positioner. I'm going to bring in we're just going to do a watermark on our background. So I'm going to add my Versamark ink pad. It's nice and juicy because I bought a refill, which is lovely. It was dry for so long. Finally got a refill for it. Okay, I'm going to take a piece of my Fruit Punch cardstock. This is an A2 panel, so it's going to cover my card base. I'm just going to carefully, you kind of want this straight because the hearts are at a pattern. But I'm going to take this, and we're going to use the brayer. I haven't did this in a long time. Kind of like it. Kind of like a rolling pie crust. Okay, it's like a rolling pin for crafts. Brayers are always nice. Okay, let's go ahead and pick this up. We should have a tone-on-tone beautiful watermark background. Loving this. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of my card base. Now I'm going to take my frame that we created, and I'm going to directly adhere this at an angle on my frame. So my floral is attached to my frame. I just think this is so pretty. I love these colors together. Now I like dimension on my cards, so if you don't like dimension, skip this next step and you can directly adhere it to the front of your card base. But I do like dimension, so I'm going to use some foam tape, and I'm going to put it behind a few of the leaves here and then my frame. You know what would be pretty too is if you die cut out that die with vellum also. I think that would be really pretty. Okay, let's take our daisy. We're going to add this. Now again, originally this is how you would place them. If you were to follow the packaging, actually, you would originally place the daisy like this. If you were to follow the packaging. But I'm going to flip it around because and we'll add the bigger one over here, the smaller one over here. For my greeting, I went ahead and used my tape runner, okay, because you can't see it behind the vellum, but I went ahead and stacked two together and added it to my shadow, and I'm going to layer it on the bottom left of this frame. Kind of spreading out that white. I'm bringing in a black pen. I'm actually using a fine tip Sharpie. A memento marker would work great. This is just easier for me. And I'm just going to add a few dots around this flower center. I'm going to bring in my Spellbinders Color Essential Gems. These are the Aura AB. And we're going to add a little bit of shimmer using some of these gems here. just a couple. And then I'm going to add a little bit of my diamond stickles to the flower centers. I don't want too much because I still want you to be able to see the black behind it, but I do in the turquoise area, I do want you to have a little bit of sparkle on here. So just a little bit of my diamond stickles. That will finish off my card project today. Super fun. Today we used the Spellbinders fresh picked daisies, kind of twisting and turning them around. And I love the outcome and stretching those dies too. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you guys are interested, I have 2 more videos to share with you. One of them is using another fresh picked item from Spellbinders. I used VELLUM on that card, and I'm also sharing another video where I created a recipe, 2 recipe cards that are 5x7s. They're nice for gift giving. Have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.